Okay, so all right, guys. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Variety Friday. It's nice to actually have you on board. Please, if you can hear me very well, you can drop a thumbs up. You'll do a thumbs up reaction so we can know that you can hear me and my mic is actually working very well. I can see the comments. People are greeting good evening. Okay, I can see the thumbs up. Yeah, okay. That means my mic is actually working. All right, all right. So today is actually an interesting topic, for us to actually have. Yeah, I can see the thumbs up coming in. Today is an interesting topic. I know all are excited to hear what we have to say regarding AI. Okay, Emran, it's actually nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. Okay, so before we
Hi
actually
everyone. I'm so sorry for coming in late. Some circumstances beyond me, but I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
okay, no, we understand. You understand actually. It's normal. Okay, so before we actually start the webinar, so if you're in our current cohort 3, in CareerEx, you know what to do. You actually have to log into your dashboard and click on your attendance so you can get your score point for attending to this Variety Friday. If you can't, if your session is not open, you're having difficulties, please let me know in the comment section. I would always go to the comment section to know if you've marked attendance. Just state the particular track and we look into it further into that. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen now. Just going to share my screen. All right, so our topic today actually is an interesting topic. Please, if you can see my screen, just drop a thumbs up in the reaction comment so we can actually know that you can see it too.
I don't think I can see your screen here.
Oh, you can't see my screen.
No.
The thumb, okay, so I'll drop it some thumbs. Some say they can't see my screen. Okay, I'm just going to stop it and share again.
Yes, now I can.
Yes, now you can see it. Okay, very good. All right, so today's
Since you can't hear you anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, likewise.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. No.
Okay, just having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm really sorry about that. I'm just trying to get it all sorted out. Just sorry for the delay, guys. Just give me a few minutes and I'll be back.
Hi, Timmy. You're still on mute.
Yeah, Pere is back. Pere, I was just chatting with her. She's back now. She has some issues with her Chrome. So I think that's been sorted out. I think she's back. Pere, can you hear any of us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Sorry about
Okay, okay.
the delay. My phone was just having some issues. I don't
All
know
right.
why.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just quickly share my screen back. So all right, okay. So today our topic is actually how to stay relevant in an AI-driven job market, and we all know that AI is here to stay. I keep telling people that AI is actually here to stay, and whether you like it or not, it's actually going to take out some people's jobs. It's something that is a bit, as I said, like the right word is evolutionary. That's actually the right word for this and all. So here with me we have our lovely speaker here. We have Clinton Bono. Sorry if I butcher your surname, Clinton. And you have Clinton here with us. He's a tech entrepreneur, the CEO of Study. Clinton, can you just do a brief introduction of yourself and what you're doing, what your company actually does too, so we can know about that.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Clinton Mbono.
Bono.
I'm a tech entrepreneur. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. So I am all things tech, solving problems, leveraging the relevant technologies, be it AI, software, code, name it. Just not to take a lot of our time. I'm your guy when you need any problem solved with technology. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so Clinton is your guy, everyone. Anything concerning tech related. All right, thank you very much, Clinton. And so next, another lovely guest speaker we have here also is almost Emerald. Sorry, I'm not good at pronouncing people's last name, so I'll just say Emerald. So I would just butcher your name. And she's a machine learning engineer and the founder of Afrotech Excel. Emerald, actually nice to have you here on board with us. Can you speak briefly to yourself and what you do and your company does too? Oh, she's not. Emerald, are you here? Okay, I think maybe she's having some technical difficulties. Okay, so another lovely speaker we have here with us is actually Inatimi Iyakumo. He's a full stack developer at Delta Form and he's a machine learning enthusiast. So Timi, can you just do a brief introduction of yourselves and what your company does too? It's nice to have you here with us too as well.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Inatimi Yamokuma. I am an AI model. That's me teasing everyone. So that's by the way. So I work with data comms. I am also a co-founder of MX Development. We build softwares basically. We solve problems building software products. Yes. And also I am also involved in a machine learning enthusiast, and I'm also happy to be here and also contribute to my own with my own little knowledge. Yeah, thank you everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Timi. Emerald, I don't know if Emerald is back. Emerald, are you back here with us? Okay, so I think I'm going to the comment and I'm seeing some people saying that data science is not open. I'm going to look into that shortly, and once it's open, I've confirmed it's open, I'll get back to you on that. Get back to you on that. So, why does this topic actually matters? Why do you want to know if AI is going to take your job and what our input will be? Because, like I said, AI is actually here to stay, and from the data we've collected, that 75% of AI integration companies are now using AI tools. I think there's an announcement made by Google, using Microsoft, that 30% of the code base is being written by AI. So you can imagine how how that works. And like I said, it's an evolution, or a revolution that's actually happening. happening, and that it is just 86% job transfer are also job transformation are also happening. So it's just like a new revolution coming into place, and AI is here, and some jobs are actually going to be at risk. Some jobs are actually more hot cake than more before because it's a trend. People tend to move towards the happening trends. And we're here to actually share our feedback or our opinions on this actual matter. So now we're going to be having a roundtable talk with our lovely host here, and we have some few questions aligned, and we're each going to ask a question and give an input on what we think about it. So the first question is actually career inspiration. So I think I'll start with Clinton. What inspired you to pursue a career in AI?
Interesting question. I think it's a mindset thing. I would say I've been someone who focused my career from the beginning in solving problems using technology. Um, I never focused on a stack, React, this, and the rest of them, even though I eventually had to write every single one of them. It was because I just focused on solving problems. That was my inspiration. It kept me curious and always looking for the best technology to use to solve the next problem. So if I see a problem in a particular niche, be it healthcare, be it logistics, be it e-commerce, and then I say, okay, which technology are we going to use to solve this? And then we start building solutions for that problem. I got into AI because I was trying to solve a problem that business owners lose money annually, a lot annually. You come online and you message a business owner on Instagram, for example. You want to buy a shoe, you send a message, and it's almost like Meta knows, sniffs your mind and starts showing you a lot of shoe vendors around you. Just because the business owner delayed, you might eventually go to another vendor, and that business owner would lose you as a customer. So we built an automated sales assistant that solved this problem by sitting in between the business owner and yourself, providing real-time responses to these customers, sending them pictures, collecting payments on their behalf. And we integrated this on WhatsApp and Instagram as well. And right now, I'm currently working on creating personalized learning experiences for students in tertiary institutions. So it's all about the mindset. How are we going to take big technologies, look around our environment, whether you're in data science, cybersecurity, you are a React developer, you're a Django developer, whatever type of language you know or stack you know, you look at your environment. What problem are we going to solve with this thing I have? And you try to solve it. That will keep you inspired. That will give you something to look towards, and you keep moving. So for me, it's the mindset and trying to solve problems.
All right, thank you very much, Clinton. Actually, nice to hear about that. Yeah. So you have to look for the opportunities around you, and that curiosity was also there to actually solve people's problems. So that's the whole point of actually doing it, to actually solve a particular problem. So Timmy, what's your take on this? What got you inspired into AI? I think you're into machine learning now, so yeah, I would love to hear back on that.
All right. So what inspired me to get into this field is innovation, innovation and the spirit of evolving, right? So one thing I think most persons fail to know is when you don't evolve, you tend to go out of shape. It's not like artificial intelligence has not been in place. It has been in place all through like 1950s, but it was limited due to computing power and lack of data. We never had computing power. But today we have smartphones that has processing powers that even the processing power that sent Neil Armstrong to the moon wasn't there. So that the beauty of all of that and the beauty of solving problems, the beauty of solving real-time problems with data. I think that was my catch up moments, and that zeal to, okay, let me go into this field, let me know what's going on, let me be able to create machines, by my own self, let me be able to train my own data, let me do things that I know that, okay, this is coming from me, my custom models. So that's just what inspired me. Many persons have what inspired them, but I that's just my own. That's my own. Yeah. So that's that for me.
All right, thank you very much, Timmy. The inspiration to actually evolve and follow the trends and all. That's actually really nice. Emerald, I don't know if Emerald is here with us here. Emerald, are you back?
Yes, I am back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yeah, okay, I hear you perfectly well. It's nice to have you back on board with us.
I'm so sorry once again. I apologize, everyone. Nigeria happened to me, unfortunately.
We can understand. You can actually understand. And so I do your into machine learning. So what got you
Yes.
inspired into AI?
For me, it was the part of the fact that it was very problem solving malleable. I'm somebody that likes to find a solution to everything as much as possible. And I got into tech because of my dad. I used to hang around his laptops when he'll come back home from work. So in his defense of trying to move me away from his laptop, he got a system for me and registered me on code.org while I was in secondary school. So when I started, to explore on my own, and I've always loved debugging and always solving problem, creating solutions to problem, and that's what led me to AI. I was in my 300 level when I really started to see what he can do. Along the way in secondary schools, I participated in robotics competitions, so I know what robots, the hardware part of it, can do. But I was really exposed to it when I was doing my IT when I was in my 300 level in school, and that desire to just solve things, and then you write these codes that can do these awesome things that can make predictions. Like, it's crazy when you sit down and write like 2 line or 20 line of code, and then it's predicting what will happen in the next minute, or it's giving you a decision for you to take that's supposed to end up with something. So I felt like a magician, really. I felt like I could predict anything. And that led me to be able to um, develop a cervical cancer detection model for my final year project, and continue to make me to do the work I'm doing at my current company where I work, and also for my organization, Afrotech Excel. So it was just that knack to solve problem and how exciting it was to be in the problem solving pipeline that actually initiated that desire for me to pursue a career in AI.
So insightful. That's really insightful. Actually, and each and every one of your story is actually very insightful. You heard it all. You know how it started, what got the inspiration, and all. I think the most thing everybody have in common is actually that desire for problem solving skills. Because me, when I think about AI, I think about if I think about AI, I think about the future. Think about just like how we were like 5 years ago, who would have thought that, something like AI be existing now? We think maybe there'll be flying cars by now. I believe there are flying cars. I think they just some regulations and which that's not making it available for mass production and all. Well, I think it's just a fantasy of we watch all these metrics movies, we see the future, you see like things like Black Mirror and the rest. You see the future, you can imagine the future, and now like it's here at our doorstep. In particular, it's taking over things we couldn't imagine were possible and now possible. So I think it's actually it's very interesting. Okay, so now our next topic, next question is, how do you stay updated in a fast moving AI space? Because I know that AI has from what it was last year to what it is now. I think is what is times 2 or times 3 better than where we were last year. I think AI is the space is taking in is a lot. So how do you stay updated in a fast moving AI space? Because a lot of agents are coming out, a lot of AI techs and tools are coming out. So how do you keeping track of all that? I think we can start with Inatimi. Please stay updated with the trend.
Sorry. How to stay current? How do you stay updated in fast-moving AI space? So,
Yeah.
number one, I sleep on YouTube virtually every day. In fact, my feed, there's this data scraping thing now. Almost every big products do. So once you watch something on TikTok, for example, maybe what you watch daily on TikTok is about AI. When you go on Facebook, that's what will pop up on your feed. When you go on YouTube, you'll be getting all of that. So how do I stay updated? I sleep basically on my social media handles, my social media apps. I make sure I try to search as much as possible. I follow also these big products like Nvidia, product like even Facebook, Meta, name them. I follow them up to know what their releases are, because they roll out different updates daily. Now, aside that, too, I also do some MIT technology review. I try to go to MIT, that's Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I try to sleep there and know what they are rolling out. That's like the A-list number one school. Everybody's desire is to actually be there. So I try to know what their new reviews are and then what their data science news is all about related to AI development. TechCrunch too is something I love to be on. So TechCrunch has some informations you would love. Social media is actually one of the easiest way to stay updated about AI. Your platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, just go look for AI experts, thought leaders, follow them up, and you would get information with the speed of light. Yeah, so that's that one. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Timmy, for this. That's so much rich information. So much rich information. I think I would say that I stay updated with in the tech space. I think there's like I said, there's LinkedIn. There's also different platforms. I think I'm for the devs. I mainly go to dev to read a lot of articles, people who are there. I know articles on who are more AI enthusiasts than the rest. I read the blogs, I read the news, and all. That's just from my own point of view. I mean, also in various groups. I think I prefer going to Reddit. Reddit is yeah. I like joining different Reddit groups in particular because I because their opinions on things, especially what's trending and all. Okay, so next on the list, painting. Can you tell us how you actually stay updated in this AI trend? And this can be a lot. A lot of things are coming out each day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, and there is this AI influencer that said something. He said, AI is like drinking water from a water hose. And all you just have to do is keep taking in as much as you can. And sooner or later, everything starts becoming easy. So before now, technology updates would come months, sometimes years, sometimes quarterly, and so on. Now it's almost like every week something new is being released. One company, Nvidia, is doing theirs, Google is doing theirs. Something is coming out, something new is coming out. And I tend to focus things a lot. I keep my focus. I try to ensure that I have a lesser view focus on things. Because when we talk about AI, you are not just trying to take in the technology. You are taking in new vocabulary, retrieval augmented, what is it even called? Retrieval augmented generation. You are taking in machine learning, you are taking in databases like Pinecone, LangChain. There are so many vocabularies that you are stuffing into your mind. So I'm a kinesthetic learner, and it has worked for me a lot. While I do things like ensuring my FYP is giving me things from different technologies, different platforms, TechCrunch, I read a lot about that. One of the most important things I do is I get my hands dirty. I have models running on my PC. I play with small language models. I am sleeping on Hugging Face, trying out open source models and doing stuff. Things that I don't even know about. I've crashed my computer many times and I've rebooted them because I don't learn unless I am getting my hands dirty. And anything that sticks, sticks. So how I stay updated is getting my hands dirty. I am always doing stuff. I'm always trying to test my hand on anything I see, the ones I can run. And what also keeps me interested in keeping updated in what's happening is trying to bring it down to the African context. Because many times, for example, you see most startups, you are building a solution for farmers and you're trying to create a mobile app. No, you can't create a mobile app for farmers who are still using feature phones like Nokia Touch. So most of these technologies are leveraging an infrastructure that is already put in a place where so many things have been set up for us, for them. But if you can funnel those information you are getting, focus your mind on a few of them, get your hands dirty, you can figure out a way to skew these technologies in a way that it suits and serves the African market. And that will keep you going as well. But if you are just reading and catching up, you would even get tired because it's like I said, it's like drinking water from a water hose. Another way I keep focus is I stay updated is through networking. Being a kinesthetic learner means I like doing, I have a lot of energy. So I keep my circle of friends who are into these fields a lot, and I like having conversations. So I ask questions. I'm very humble. No matter how many things I think I know, I'm not afraid of asking questions. So humility, getting my hands dirty, social media, networking, and Hugging Face. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Skeleton, for such an insightful information. You always gets your hands dirty because the people always try. I think you said something about AI is like drinking from a host because new stuff are always going to be coming out. New AI apps, new agents.
Yeah.
You will always hear new things. They're always going to be coming out.
And then
So
they start scaring you because you're not doing anything about it.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this they've done this one. This one is really trending. This one is like you haven't even mastered one. You not even mastered one. You're jumping onto the next one. That's one thing people don't realize. So you have to actually master to know how to use it to produce something. The whole point of AI is to be efficient. To make
Yeah.
it work more productive. So if you don't know how to use that particular one you're using, you're hopping onto the next one. You're also going to be in a constant learning phase without having the very, very good results
Yeah.
because you didn't actually master it. So that's very insightful. Emerald, how do you stay updated in the AI trend?
Mr. Clinton made some very, very valid point. As he was just talking, I was just nodding my head really, because I'm someone that I think if they pay better testers, I should be among them because any new thing that is coming out, whether it is good for my system or it will not meet my system specification, I must look for a way to try that thing so that I can just have a feel about how it works and the inner system. I'm very adventurous like that. I work a lot with models. Like if I see something that is nice or a new technology, for example, people are talking about other ways we can go around things like pandas, simple things. I will go and try it. I will just have a small project. There are so many collabs on my systems. I'll just try out a small project, see how it runs. Okay, this is how it runs. What can I do to make it run faster or make it better? Just things like that. Very, very good. And I agree with Mr. Clinton, especially with the fact that we need to, work for Africa, because one thing people have is that they feel that they need to meet Africa as where the West tells us we are, instead of where exactly we are. And that is a huge problem in developing and testing our products like this. So I like to stay relevant also by staying in motion. I don't just watch it happen. I try to be a part of it, fine-tuning this, playing with that. I'm pretty sure that China has a lot of my information already. They are the ones hosting all the data. Then my life is gone because basically I play with all their tools from time to time. Another thing I also do is to plug into real communities. For me, the most blossom time of the year for me is Hacktober, where I get to contribute to open source projects, whether I know what I'm doing or I don't. The fun part about that is that I know that from day one, as much as I'm clueless, I know that by day 10, day 15, I have a hang on what is going on. And where such spaces or such conversations are taking place, I'm not going to be mute. I know I'll have something to say. I'll be like, okay, yes, I did this is the results. Or when I'm thinking about how to solve a particular problem, I know what to plug in to use. Hugging Face has so much models that you can literally sleep there every single day. Another thing, community is very important for me, because when I go to community meetups or to participate in Hacktober or any open source contributions, I'm not just there to just stay and keep quiet. I'm there to talk. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what I think we should do. This is my point of view, because then there's that interchange and that networking that he mentioned. We're able to share, your thoughts about things. So basically just a loop: build, test, listen, iterate. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me, most importantly, very useful, because in the AI world, if you miss one bit, you're no longer useful. Don't be to the side, pick somebody who's abreast of what's going on. So in this space, yes, theory is nice, reading is nice, watching videos. I mean, I love fire chats. Like there's this guy that I'm always hung up on his videos because of the way he explains things with AI, and I'm doing that has been my new comic. Well, execution is everything. So that's just how I stay updated.
All right, thank you very much. I think I laughed when you said when Hannah has taken all your data. I believe that I feel like nobody's data is safe, literally at this point. Literally, our data is out there, whether you like it or not, it's out there. Oh, that's actually very inspiring, literally. So what we've got from what all they said is that, we just have to have our hands dirty. You have to be very curious to, stay updated. Networking is a very key important factor, especially the networking was very key important factor in exchanging knowledge with people. I think I was speaking with who? I think I was in Atimi. We were speaking the other day, and he just told me, oh, this app does this feature. And this is the new training stuff. And I was like, I don't know. I had no clue. But now I know. You understand? So it's always good to always network, always join and being a part of the community, join groups, join Discord servers. They're actively looking for information. So that brings us to our next question. I think this is a very interesting one. Is which industry are gaining or losing due to AI? So I think it's more of which industry do you think is going to, get caught off by AI, and which industry do you think is going to be in high demand, or skill that's going to be high demand and the skill that's going to be left out? I think people have different opinions on this. As we go into the time of, maybe 5 years from now, this is going to be scrapped, or it's already scrapped already, or 10 years down the line, it's going to be scrapped already. I think everybody has different opinions on this. I don't know who wants to actually pitch in first. Maybe you can start with Emerald. Emerald, maybe you can go first. What industry or what skill do you think is going to be cut off by AI?
Okay, so thank you very much. I think that's a very interesting question that has a lot of debate on ground. But the first thing I'm going to say is every field is going to be changed, because every field, no matter how static we think it is, how mundane we think it is, it has to be dynamic because of the technology we're dealing with, which is artificial intelligence. So if you think that a particular work mode has reached its peak, artificial intelligence is here to tell you, okay, you have to do things better. This is a new peak or a new high. So every industry is going to be affected, definitely. But AI is helping to reshape them in real time. So what is safe, quote unquote, today could shift tomorrow, depending on how fast a sector adapts quickly. I mean, right now we're talking about AI, what we're doing with AI, and the big tech companies, IBM, Google, they are not, yes, they are working on AI, but they are spending most of their money on quantum computing. So what if tomorrow one of them comes up with quantum computing chips that everyone can get their hands on? That's going to shift, do you get, the sector and what exactly we're going to do. So with that being said, roles that are repetitive and rule-based are most at risk, because although AI follows algorithms, it's free-spirited. The AI can shock you. Let's use the Nigerian term. right? You can ask it to do a mundane task and how it thinks about doing the mundane task. It's so out of the ordinary or out of the box. Because first of all, from the ground up, our learning system we're so boxed in our learning system. We're not encouraged to think out of the box. We're just said think out of the box, but we're not encouraged to do that actually. So manual things like data entry, basic transcription, routine customer service, especially where there is no need for deep judgment or empathy. It's already been automated, right? I mean, if you have most of these annoying Nigerian bank services, you have their automated lines calling you, asking you, how was your service, this and that. So we can already see that that is already going away. Well, the flip side is that it creates new opportunities. Now, the reason why people will say, oh my God, AI is going to take my job, I'm not going to have a lot of job with AI, is because they refuse to grow. In this day and age, we need to be dynamic and be flexible like water. Anywhere you put water, water will stay. You see down there. That is how we need to be. If you are grounded that, oh, I know how to typewrite, I'm a typewriter, all my things are what? AI is not, what's the word they call it? It's not authentic. You are deceiving yourself because you are going to be left behind. There is a growing demand for roles like prompt engineering, AI healthcare interpreters, data ethic experts, even non-tech tech product designers who know how to integrate AI into real world tools. So what are you doing? Are you sitting down and allowing you get your job to go? You're looking at it there. So we need to be dynamic. And in Africa especially, we're seeing massive growth in health, education, agriculture, and logistics. For example, what we do at Afrotech Excel, we train students using AI, basically. By the time we onboard for our courses, we're able to the model will actually ask you for a placement text, to take a placement text. And this placement text is run through AI. It tells you your learning pattern and it gives you different technical projects based on your learning pattern, right? And it's also there as a study guide, a study buddy. It knows when you're going through crisis. It can know when, okay, this person is not really learning, right? The retention rate is low. Okay, why don't we play game? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Through things like Lafayette, which we're developing, we're using AI to detect cervical cancer early detections, even where labs do not exist. So yes, some roles are fading, but entirely new ones are being born, especially for those who are eager to build or work with AI. So the thing is that yes, roles will eventually fade, but new exciting roles with more technicalities for those who are open-minded will eventually come, and then there will not be that sub-bench and whether people will have to work or people will not have to work. So they'll have to fall in line if they want to get fed eventually. And the way forward is AI. So they need to hone their skills in AI and do the needful.
Thank you very much, Emery, for that. For that. Just a quick announcement to the students. So if you're in cybersecurity or in data science, the attendance portal is now open, so you can actually log in and mark your attendance. I'm seeing the comment section. If that is not working, please let me know. If you haven't marked attendance but it's not working, just state the name of the track and say it's not working. I'll also look into that further on my own side. So like Emma said, like AI is literally here to stay. It's literally so either you get on board or you just you just watch the world leave you behind. So just like think about it. It's going to take out some jobs, but it's actually going to create new jobs. It's just like think about it like when the computer first came in, before computer invention of computer, everything was being done manually. All those clock system were being done manually, saving files like in a cabinet, all those things. But when computer came, everything changed. Understand? So if you didn't learn computer then, you were out of trend. Imagine now, before computer, were there like actual coding? It wasn't really much. Even if it was, I think it was the punch card. I think there was punch card and all those things. It was very tedious, but you know, it took out those people's job, obviously. But then it created a new job and made them more efficient at their job and made them more productive at their job. All right. So I don't know who would want to go next. Quentin, would you like to go next? What skills do you think is going to be?
I think when Emerald was talking, I was just saying gang gang in my mind. Because actually we are both going to say the same thing. Like Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, said AI is not going to take your jobs. The people that use AI will take your jobs. When the calculator came out, I remember in primary school then, the guys who would calculate all the numbers offhand were the greatest. of a sudden, nobody cares whether you can think of 1 million times 10 again. You are using calculators. Televisions came out. People said TVs could see your soul from the wall. But now we are all watching television. Cars came out. If you saw The Men Who Built America, it's a series. I remember when this guy, Carnegie, built a bridge, people were so scared to cross over the bridge that he had to cross the bridge with an elephant. And then people started using the bridge. They saw it as one big abomination that was eventually created. And now we have, and even when our Web 2 and Web 2 came out, people were building solutions, crowd solutions like we are still using now in the early stages. You would see people kick against it, like, who our data will, we don't even know where it's being stored. I remember going to offices to pitch softwares that could make administrative tasks very easy, and they would reject me because it was very new to them. And now we are still in another phase, an era. Or should we even talk about social media? When it came out, I was part of those that wouldn't even, I'm someone who was quite camera shy. I wouldn't let myself be on social media then. And like so many other guys, those in the printing press industry that advanced and pushed their job to the social media space are doing great, while those that didn't are already dead now. Nobody advertises much on NTA anymore, or even all the telecom media houses that we used to have. Most of our adverts are happening on social media. So the world will keep evolving. It will keep changing. In the education sector, like she mentioned, things will change. It will create new opportunities. However, those who do not evolve will be left behind. If you are doing any job that follows a specific pattern, every day you come, you do the same thing. Every day you come, you do the same thing. Even as a software engineer, if you are someone who keeps waiting to be told what to do with all the skills you have, you are not creative, you are not innovative, you are not thinking outside the box, AI will take your job from you. In my company right now, we are just a handful of developers designing massive projects. Like, I can't even count the number of codes we've written, all with the help of AI. You are saying NVIDIA is saying that 60% of their code. I can even tell you that 40% of our code is being written by AI right now, because I work with people who are bringing ideas, who are moving fast, who are thinking outside the box. So if you're a software engineer and you are not evolving, you are not thinking outside the box, you are afraid to make mistakes, you are going to be replaced. And you need to evolve. You need to hone that skill of making mistakes. I am not afraid of failure. I think our education system in Africa made us, when somebody asks a question or says something, they first laugh at you because of your English, or they tell you shame and all of those crap that we used to do in school then. That has affected us as a people. However, what technology has done, it has broken the dots for you to make mistakes. You can't be agile without making mistakes. You can't run a race without falling a couple of times. Nobody learned to ride a bicycle without falling. So just to summarize, I feel don't be afraid of making mistakes. It will create opportunities for you. However, if you remain stagnant, AI is going to take your job. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, on pointing on that. Okay, Inatimi, do you have anything to say on this? What is your take on this actually?
Yeah, everything has been said. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you perfectly well.
Yeah, so everything has actually been said. If you don't know how to use AI would, someone who knows how to use AI would replace you. So here is the thing, what industries are gaining to losing due to AI. So the only industries that are protected from this are actually data-driven companies. Yes. So as the AI adoption is actually increasing, companies or industries related to AI deployment, development, those ones don't have issues. They have every possibility to just be there. Now, for the rest persons, we have issues ranging from software engineers, designers, name it. Every single one is on the chopping board. I don't know, I was telling somebody, Figma, not to actually these designers, because I write codes. I was telling a designer last week because they were celebrating about the whole Figma release. And I was telling them, this thing you guys are celebrating, hope you guys know that there's an AI that is doing it perfectly well. AI is, in fact, our company, we don't use Figma majorly. We have this AI we use called Motif AI. This Motif AI actually fires up designs that me self, I'm not a designer, but when I see this design come out within seconds of prompting them, I'm like, wow, what is happening here? When did you design this? And the only thing we just need is customization. So we just tailor it a bit of tweaking. The tweaking is not like, okay, this color did not blend well. No, the tweaking is, okay, we need to put this heading here, like, okay, customize it to our own needs within seconds. A design that will take normal designer maybe a week or something to bring out those screens. Now, let me come to my own field. As a engineer writing codes, Cursor AI is already doing wonders, creating files. This one, you don't need to create the file. It goes into your project folder. In fact, you can tell Cursor AI to go inside your computer, like your laptop, your machine, look for a particular file and use it as a reference point to create a file or do something. Do you know how? I don't know if you know how crazy that is. Like, it's not like you be the one to create a file and tell it to write the code. No, it can create the file and write the code and run the code at the same time. Now, imagine how it would be in the next 5 years for a product manager, or you're also on the chopping board. AI writes user stories perfectly well. Yes, AI writes user stories perfectly well. Name it. So what I'm saying in essence is we need to involve. We need to involve. AI does not have a face. AI does not have a story. AI does not have a reputation. We all do. And it's still humans we would actually interact with. So for every single thing we are doing, just to summarize, we need to make sure we are innovative. We are innovative. No CEO, nobody employing anybody would like to keep someone that would use 5 days to solve a problem. Then there's someone else that solves that same problem for 30 minutes. You would always keep the one who can actually solve it for 30 minutes. So it's very broad. So that's just my own point from that. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much, Inasimi. I could see the screen clapping coming across the screen when you were saying if some people are on the chopping board. I think some people were saying that, oh, this guy is saying our mind, he's saying our mind. I just couldn't help but laugh. Yes. I think from my own point, like I was interacting with somebody else regarding this AI situation. I think he's a developer and also doing integrating AI into his website and all. And I was asking, I was trying to get his point of view on AI, and he's more like would I say somehow antagonistic in the aspect of AI. He's always true. AI is going to take our job. He said now the motive app is mentioned. We can do a great thing in less than a day, and all you have to do is just modify it. Or but what I think shouldn't be really that scared. This is just me saying my own opinion though. Like we shouldn't be really that scared in a way. As far as like I said, the whole point of AI is actually going to be like a tool to help you to be productive. Like AI, the AI can it can create a great design, but it's, like you said, you have to edit it. So if you don't know how to edit a Figma for edit a design thing, how would you edit it? So you still need a designer to actually redefine that particular work to make it what you want to be. I think the same way goes for coding too, also in the same aspects, because sometimes these AIs are not like perfect, at least yet yet perfect. I mean the word yet perfect. You know, they do make mistakes. There are errors in some of the code lines, and obviously if it gives you a wrong code and you're having a glitch and you know you don't have it on coding skills, definitely you got to reach out to the developer to help you. Okay, please just come and do this. Come and you need somebody to look at it, to proofread it before actually putting it out there. And also, I think it's still going to be a skill. It's just a tool to be, you know, to be sorry, just a tool to be more productive than ever. Like I said, I think what the developer was actually saying was that this was for developers aspect. Sorry, give me a few minutes. Sorry about that. It means that for developers just means actually going to, you know, write more code than before. It's just like, okay, now it's all done in a month, cannot be in 5. So if like tax like this, because have the you will have tools to like to help make it get it done in 5 days. So it's like think of more complex design being made easy. I think that's the right word. More complex design being made easy to be achieved faster. That's really I'm saying AI, you know, integrating AI tools into the workplace and all. I think but then I noticed that some of the tools some of in demand is that of data science. I think I know the line. The data is going to be very, very important. You know, there's a lot of identity theft already happening out there. They're selling people's images, they're creating videos, making movies, people's faces. You know, people trying to fraud people out there and selling their identity and selling their data and just, you know, I think data is going to be very critical, especially that is very critical right now. Just my own own intake on that. Yeah, just another announcement to the students. So if you have a question, you can drop a question in Q&A section. After this last question, we actually repeat to the Q&A. So if you have a question you want to ask, you should just go to the Q&A section and drop it, and we check and repeat to that shortly. So now for our final question, advice. What tip would you give? I think we already see some tips to just analyze it. What tips would you give to stay relevant and employable out there? I don't know. Maybe Clayton can go first. So what tip do you have out there for the students?
Okay. Since we have tech people, I don't know if we have a lot of tech people here, right?
Tech, and we do have product managers that are not really tech.
Oh, okay.
We have
Okay.
designers too.
Okay. I have a few things I had, but for software developers, I would say learn Python, please. Practice with Hugging Face a lot. Play with open source models. Get your hands dirty. If you don't learn anything about AI as a software developer, work with retrieval augmented generation, because that will help you apply local context to generative AI a lot. So in the future, even agentic AI and everything will be working with data from local companies a lot. And a company would not want their data to be in a large language model or a model on the internet. They would want to run the federal government of Nigeria. If they're going to move to AI, they wouldn't run on OpenAI. They would run on a local server, have our data stored there, and with retrieval augmented generation, you'll be able to answer queries and make things easy. For everybody, I would say be creative, try to apply what you're learning. Communication has become more important than ever right now, because everything is still based on prompts. If you don't know how to simplify complex terms into simple ideas, or simplify complex terms and connect people, you would be losing out. So learn how to communicate better, because even OpenAI, if you don't know how to coin whatever you want it to put out for you, you won't get exactly what you need. So improve your communication skills. I would also say stay adaptable, like she mentioned initially. Be like water. Wherever they put you, you should stay there. Embrace lifelong learning. Don't have the mindset that AI is here to destroy you. If you do that, that's what you're going to see. But if you have the mindset that there is opportunity coming, it will keep you alert. And when the opportunity presents itself, you'll be able to grab it. I think that's what I have.
All right, thank you very much, Clinton, for that tips. Emerald, would you want to go next?
Okay, so what I want to say is work smart, work smartly, whatever you're doing, wherever you feel you can infuse AI, infuse AI. I was watching a video on YouTube yesterday from MIT, and they have coined a word for coding with AI, which they call vibe coding. So when you vibe code this, when you vibe code that, meaning that these intellectuals that are creating these beautiful models out there, they use these models to assist themselves. Just like Mr. Clinton said, don't go and do you already know all of everything. I must do it, use everything, use my brain to the fullest. My dear, AI is here to help you. Patronize it, buy its market, increase your creativity, because it is not here to come and take your job. So, like I said, the question is, will you adapt or will you be there? Double down on what AI can easily replace. Is it critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, adaptability? The more human you are, the more irreplaceable you become. Another thing I want to say again is that do not just collect certificates. Certificates are nice, they look nice. But when you are on a job interview and you have a technical session, what can you bring to the table? Build a portfolio. Show how you've actually used whatever you're using to solve problems, your businesses, communities, schools, Africa, the world at large. Will start from Africa. You know, some practical tips you could do is learn in public, share what you're working on, even if it is small. Visibility matters. It's crazy how that one like, even though you're seeing is one like on LinkedIn, you don't know who is looking at it and passing the task. Keeps you in mind. Stay curious. Tools change, but mindset is what keeps you agile. So if you hang on tools will come and go, and then you too, you come and go. But if you're curious and you have a mindset that's always open, you would forever be relevant. Collaborate, join communities. Most of you here join communities, but you are very dormant in the communities. You don't say a word, you don't ask for help, you don't ask for questions, you don't share what you're doing. Change that. Closed mouth don't get fed. Open your mouth. Talk about what you're doing. Have you learned a simple hello world code in Python? Brag about it. It's not easy. How many people in the world know hello world? Talk about it. Go beyond the how. Understand why you use the tools you use. That is where you're preparing yourself for leadership. Because we're seeing that more and more as AI is becoming to the forefront, many roles will require you to have leadership skills. So always ask yourself, okay, now that I've been taught how to use these tools, why are we using these tools? What's another way I can use it? Always question them and remain curious.
Thank you very much, Emerald. As you were talking, I was just screaming, preach, right on, right on. Because they need to hear the truth, actually, and that's just the sincere truth. Like closed mouth doesn't get fed, and certificate is just it looks nice, but people are all about what can you do. You understand? So that was that's very very nice. Okay, to me, the final person, what's your final tip or advice to the students?
So, okay, so my final take is very simple, right? I AI can remix, but AI cannot, originate. AI can originate answers, but AI cannot generate purpose. As I said earlier, AI cannot have a face, it does not have a story, it does not have a reputation. So in all of this, you're still dealing with humans, right? So everything boils down to how efficient and how can you be able to use this as a tool to stay very at the top of your game. Because if you're working in a firm, if you're working wherever you've been working. No one wants to, keep someone who would use 5 days to work on a problem. Everyone wants one that is super smart. Now, Mr. Clinton said something earlier, and I loved it. If you're doing a task that is predictable, if your task in a particular job you are on currently now is predictable, it is repeatable, it is measured by performance metrics, I can bet you that 10 years from now, in total, you will be out of job. If you think it's a lie, ask the typewriters we knew 25 years ago, 20 years ago. They never believed it. They all felt would be there. We are out of there. So please try to innovate, have vision, have connection. Leave this whole AI thing we are talking about, the whole scare and fear mongering. Don't be scared. What you should be scared of is, can you use any of these AI tools? Be multidimensional. Don't just relax in your field. That was something I learned last year. I want to die inside front end development and then my back end development, use PHP. I just want to be there for. Why can't I do other things? I mean, the term software engineer cut across so many things, being able to solve problems using various things. So that was like, okay, why shouldn't I be multidimensional? Go in search of knowledge, just be versatile. Water flows. So flow anywhere you're being found. As a designer, don't just be stuck in trying to position this particular button at this particular place. What extra thing can you do to actually make sense? What's that extra thing that will be the turning point? That's just the whole thing. That's just what will be the icing on the cake. Be a value creator and not just a tax doer. So that's that for me. I really want to encourage us, and I believe we can do better. We can do better, and going forward will be great. Don't be scared about this whole AI thing. We are just scared about you not being able to use any of the AI tool to be efficient. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tim. I think I like the last sentence. Don't be scared about AI too. Just scared about being able to use that to be efficient. That's actually really nice. I think in terms of software engineering, people think it's just one particular sector. It's a whole field. Like when somebody say I am a software engineer, it means he's grounded in all different areas. When it comes to web, he can be there. When it comes to app, he can be there. When it comes to other aspects like DevOps and right, it can be there because it's more than one. You feel this vast, and people just stick to one particular field and not try to explore or dabble into the next field. And it's actually very bad, and that can actually was in limits growth itself and all. So I just did a small actionable tips for AI errors. So that was just like basically everything we've actually even just like said. Master afterward embrace change quickly. You have to combine your technical and human skill expertise because in as much as like you said, networking is very important. Like what Emirate said, close mouth doesn't feel itself. So networking is very important. Soft skills is going to be the highlights of it all. Because people want to employ somebody they trust, and they always go to people they will, oh, can you recommend somebody? Oh, I need a front end. Like, I need a front end developer. Oh, I can ask a friend. Oh, I need a front end developer. I just recommend somebody to me. And before they give you money numbers from their contact list, but I don't know. And also always with always communicate, put yourself out there. Like how many people can say hello world? If not, if you surprise especially people don't even know how to even press computer or even try to even think about VS Code or do what the simple things you do know. So always be proud to share your progress, like it's learning, stay curious, explore emerging. What Inatimi said, networking strategy, find mentors in AI agents field to interact with, experiment with AIs, tools, go on Google research. So there are so many AI tools for different fields, even digital activities, different fields out there. Some of them are not stated. We have different fields here. But you can just go to Google, what AI is training for this, that's why you need the community to and all that. I need the community and all that. So now we're going to the Q&A session. and we're going to be taking the questions right now. I think some questions are has come in. So somebody said, I'm not gonna share my screen here. Somebody said, I want to appreciate this session. It's impactful. Please ask a question. From my finding, I have found that I have different specialties in AI. For product manager and someone that have policy manager and audit, what aspect of AI should I learn to help my future business thrive or help the organization define myself thrive? Okay, so I think this is from a product manager and it's asking how can he improve himself in terms of AI. Like I said, there are so many AI tools to make your job more efficient, to keep track of data, to analyze data and an aspect of things. You just have to, like I said, go to Google. You have to go to Google, check some forums, read about what AI is actually popping up in the product management field, and also stay updated with the tools there also. I don't know if anybody would want to add an input on this for product managers.
I think what I would say for him is learn all those tools that make it easy for product managers.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Okay. Okay.
To be something.
Okay. For me, I would just say, since you're a product manager, I think being a student under predictive analysis, analytics can be a thing. This predictive analytics in machine learning, I think, can help you figure out what some user behaviors would be while trying to build a product. That can help you to take data-driven decisions. That's that for me. So you should actually try to sleep on tools that can help you do predictive analysis.
All right, thank you
What
very much.
are users' behaviors if they do this and not. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Timmy. Sorry to cut you short from there. I just got the network glitch. Okay, so that's it for that particular person. So the next question is: I asked how does AI? Oh, this is a bit tricky to read. I asked how does AI help me in my shoemaking company to be expanded? How does AI help me in my shoemaking company to be expanded? Well, does anybody want to jump in on this? I have to think about this one.
Okay, so AI can help in your shoe company. You can go to ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT is a very easy, free one that everybody knows and cloud. Go there, ask ChatGPT that you want to make a collection. Give ChatGPT a prelude. Oh, hi, I'm a Nigerian who sells shoes in the North Central, and I want to come up with business strategy to grow my business. This is how much I've made. I've made X amount in X amount of month in X month, and I want to make X amount for the remaining quarter of the year. Can you give me tips on how to improve with strategy, branding, ads, and how to keep my customers? And by the way, can you also help me to design shoes or a new collection that I can add to whatever I have? Now, the goal of all of this is prompt engineering. There are free courses on prompt engineering. There is a YouTube video on prompt engineering. Go and watch it. When you watch it, when you have questions like this, it's easy for you to input it into AI. AI will give you, and you can keep on fine tuning. So when we talk about fine tuning, it's basically changing one or two things, one or two words, putting in the right words so that you can have the right prediction that you need. So go there, use your ChatGPT, enjoy using the program, and that is easy for you. So you can do a lot of things. ChatGPT can even like prepare a whole slide pitch deck, how you can even get grants for your businesses, what is open, what you can use to support other people. So it's all there. Just go ahead and just use it.
Yeah. And another, I think it has what internet feature, so you can actually go to. It has you can actually have access to latest data and all, like actually news. I think I use it for news. I use it to know what's happening in the world. Like, okay, today what happened today? What major news happened? And it just searches it out, different websites and different article. It reads it, summarizes it for me, and gives me like a reference link for me to actually, if I want to read further on it, I can actually go and study it further on it. So the activity is actually a nice one to actually go for that. So we'll take the final question. I think this is for developers. He said, I'm currently learning front-end development. Which of the following program is suitable for me to learn that matches my current learning? AI and machine learning, cloud computing, data analysis and visualization, data science, DevOps, and cybersecurity. You want to learn everything. You want to learn everything. If your front end, you want to know what's suitable for you to add to your current skill. I think that's what you want to know. You can branch into. There's so many you can actually branch into AI machine learning. Because really good at coding, so it won't be really that hard for you to actually blend in. I think it depends on actually you in general. To me, would you want to jump in on this? I think you're a front end developer. What advice would you give him?
So my advice is he's going for too much. You can't be everywhere at the same time. But it's actually okay to know all of them. But you have to major in one, right? So they are all major fields, AI and machine learning. So for me, we're actually talking about AI and AI. So for me, I would advise that you start matching up with AI and machine learning. You can actually use that to actually aid your front-end development skill for real, for real. So that's what my advice would be. Thank you.
I think I have a contrary opinion. Hello?
Okay.
I think I would say he should go with data analysis and visualization, because front end is mostly about visualizing data and creating data-driven UI. So with data analysis and visualization, he would be able to leverage these technologies like D3, ChatJS, and the rest of them to assist him make sense of data that's coming from the backend, because most data coming from the backend could be unstructured. But with more data analysis and visualization, he would be able to create more exceptional dashboards that could assist in his front end journey. Might not be fully AI, but from his list, I feel this will help.
All right. Thank you very much, Clinton. So that's the advice you've gotten. I think it's for him to do like further research into that, and which is one of the aspect of things. All right. I think yeah. So, implementing what you've learned. So, assess your current skills, identify your strengths and your gap, create a learning plan, focus on high demand AI complementary skills in your particular career. It can be the portfolio. I think yeah, it can be the portfolio. I think we have a project phase coming up on the 31st. Project phase is actually going to comments for our students where you have to, walk the walk, no more talking, no more this. It's all about, okay, all these things you've learned, what can you do? It's time to prove it. And that will happen towards the ending of this particular month that project phase actually kicks in. So like what network strategically, like we said, connect with forward thinking personnel and all. This is just a wrap of what we've all said so far. And yeah, this is the ending of our webinar. This is the end of the webinar. So actually, our next webinar is actually going to be coming up on the 30th of May, because we have this variety Friday every two weeks, not every week, but just every 2 weeks. And now we've learned about AI, how to study relevance and AI job-driven market. I think the previous 2 weeks spoke on introducing AI to the students more into the machine learning aspect, what it takes to actually going to machine learning, the thing that was covered the last previous week. And this coming week, we're going to go into LinkedIn and personal branding. When you've gotten the skills, when you do the project, how can you put yourself out there? How can you sell yourself out there? How can you be noticeable out there? Because if nobody knows you do this thing, nobody's going to connect to you, nobody's going to reach out to you. So it's all about publicity as of next 2 weeks' time. And yeah, so you can stay in touch. You can follow us on CareerEx on our social media platform at yourcareerx.com, the CareerEx on our social media platform. And yes, the videos is actually going to be dropped on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it, it's actually going to be uploaded tomorrow on YouTube, YouTube directly. So you can always go back to it to actually watch for those who want to rewatch the session and all. And we also have our wonderful speakers. We have the details there with their LinkedIn profile, their link to the description where you can actually connect to them on LinkedIn and all. That's when YouTube is uploaded on the YouTube page. You can just check that in the description. Clinton, Emerald, Inatimi, like I'm so glad to have you guys here. It was such an insightful session. You guys didn't hold back on saying the truth. You guys didn't polish you guys didn't polish anything for them. You just went like, okay, what it is, this is how it is, this is reality. And I do actually do love that about it. So yes, thank you for actually joining this session, sharing your insights with our students. We really do appreciate this already. So yeah, thank you. And I think this is a wrap. But before we end, and I think because you guys can send me details so we can drop that YouTube section. So anybody that watches the video can always come back to you guys, connect to you guys, and reach out to you guys. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll also be in contact with you. So we're expecting my own connect too. So for those who haven't seen my own connect on LinkedIn, because we're expecting that also. So yeah, so this is our final goodbye. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope we all had an insightful moment and all. I will see you again in the next 2 weeks. Good night, everyone, and do have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.